So sometime last week, 3 smaller maps in BattleBit were actually removed from the Big Conquest playlist. The maps were District, my personal favorite, Construction, and Salhan, which I do appreciate. I know Construction is actually high up there as being a favorite map for a lot of people, and I definitely know District is up there as being one of the most played maps in the game. These 3 maps were silently removed without any announcement about a week ago. You may have noticed yourself, why haven't I been seeing these maps in rotation? This is the answer why. They were actually removed from queue, and there was no information on the Discord or publicly announced on why. So that actually left a lot of players in confusion. I didn't really notice because I've been spending 99% of my time out of work actually editing and producing content, which you guys are watching. I appreciate every single one that's watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, that would actually make my day if you do so. I love you a lot. Even though I haven't spent much time in the game, I'm nearly constantly interacting on multiple Discords, talking about the game and going through my comment section, answering and reacting to all my comments that you guys leave, and pretty much trying to indulge on this game even though when I can't play it. And also to reassure, I absolutely love this game. This game is such a great breath of fresh air compared to all of the new release shooters and pretty much everything at the moment. Also helped out the devs with the Steam video. Not the main trailer, but the second playable video on Steam. I actually captured that footage and edited it together myself, and I am completely grateful for that opportunity and all the opportunity that has been given to me from the game, and I will be forever grateful for where it's gotten me now on my YouTube channel. But this is one of the first negative things that I do have to talk about. Construction, District, and Salhan were removed from the Big Conquest playlist from under our noses. No one in the community knew until we actually started not getting these maps in our rotations for what to queue next for. I actually found out about this from people that were playing the game constantly and noticed the change. Immediately questions were being raised and feedback was being given and nothing was being answered. Everyone was left in the dark of why, as 2 of the most voted maps to play on were suddenly removed from this playlist. This is where I have to answer, why are we making a fuss about this just being removed from the Big Conquest game modes? As some of you are probably saying, if they were just removed from the Conquest game mode, aren't they still playable in the other game modes? Even with that question, there's other people asking, what's the difference between the game modes and why are certain game modes locked with certain maps now? And that's becoming a big talking point at the moment, especially with the new map Namek being released. Not many people have even played on it because they don't know that it's not part of the Big Conquest rotation. So this leads to one of the main talking points at the moment in the community, and a little bit of a divide, is that most people playing BattleBit Remastered are after the big map, vehicles included gameplay, big battle scenario, which is absolutely fine. I'm all there for you. I'll hop in and play the Big Conquest as much as you guys do. I'll be a transport pilot for a whole game. I'll be a tanker. I'll be even a tank gunner. I'll snipe. I'm down for playing heaps and every different play style, and that's why I'm all good for playing Conquest, and that's why the removal of these 3 maps matter so much. So seeing that Conquest was voted for the most pretty much after every single game, all the players that wanted to play Frontlines or Infantry Conquest, they were never able to, because the popular vote was always just straight Conquest with all the vehicles and everything. This is why these 3 smaller maps had such an impact and were so important to players like myself, which do love District, and I know a lot of people do love Construction because they're more condensed, more jam-packed, action-packed maps that you could play on. I really enjoyed them because they mixed up the gameplay from these big open sprawling battles to these small closer quarters engagement. These 3 maps were essentially Battlefield's Operation Metro and Operation Locker of their playlists. It was good to have a break between these open, big, slower battles and get something spicy, fast, and all guns blazing all the time type of gameplay. And that's why the removal of these 3 maps was very noticeable to all the players which love to run and gun and go absolutely nuts and love this playstyle. This is where the conversation will get a little bit dicey between, well, if people want to play that run and gun so much, why don't you play Domination and Infantry Conquest? And that's where I have to say, since early access release, I've not seen a full 254 lobby play Domination once. Frontlines I've not seen a Domination or Infantry Conquest game at all. It's only been Frontlines, which I really enjoy, and Conquest. So essentially, these maps were taken out of rotation and were removed. It was practically impossible to get a full massive server in these maps. You're gonna start loving me for my analogies, but imagine if you got in a car and you had 3 passengers with you. The person riding shotgun really loves Taylor Swift and chucks on Taylor Swift on the radio for you. Now, the person in shotgun really loves Taylor Swift, and that's pretty much all they want to listen to is Swiftie. Now, you driving, you don't really like Swiftie. You prefer just metal. You love fucking Bring Me the Horizon, A Day to Remember. You love getting up and getting moving. So you're pretty much fully against the Swiftie being played right now. And then you've got 2 people in the back. One of them's like, yeah, hey man, I like both. I'm good, whatever. Swiftie, Bring Me to the Horizon, whatever you want, yeah? Guy on the right in the back also loves Taylor Swift and will listen to it for the whole ride. So essentially you've got 2 people really fucking love Swiftie, and then you've got one person which is, oh, okay, sure, I'll play this now and again. And then you've got the driver which doesn't want to listen to Swiftie at all. So now replace Taylor Swift music with Conquest. You'll have 2 people which throff it and just want to live in Conquest all the time. That's all they want to play. You'll have people like me, which don't mind dipping our toes in a bit of both. You know, just have a little piece of this, little piece of that. You know, it's all good. Because then you get the best of both worlds. You're able to enjoy full game and everything that it offers. And then you've got the other person that's driving, which just wants hard, fast, domination, infantry conquest, run and gun, just go nuts, no stop of the gameplay. But at the moment, seeing that we're playing with a popularity vote at the end of the game, the driver is getting absolutely left out at the moment. When we were playing Big Conquest, the small ones have been removed, so they don't even get a taste that hard and fast action. It's just completely removed from their gameplay cycle, which absolutely blows. Big Bodsta, that's a bit far-fetched, so we'll just bring it back, please. So after all of that, I'm essentially saying that this game style and this type of gameplay has just been removed for certain players, which is really disappointing. And the main reason why I have to bring this up is because it was done silently. There was no announcement about any of this. It was just removed and nothing was said, and the players just had to deal with it, which is frustrating. You know, when your favorite thing has been removed from the game and you don't know why, you don't have an answer, that can be really disappointing. So as of yesterday, we actually got an official update from Velasquez about this. A lot of people were actually pointing towards the 48-hour playtest and which maps were voted for. So Velasquez was responding to that main criticism. So this was his first post in response to people saying that why were 2 of the most played maps removed from the playlist. He's essentially saying new players were playing the maps simply to explore them. When everything was playable, the ratings of the maps, the inbuilt map rater, the ones that were rated lower and were reported as having problems were the 3 maps which were removed. After that, he then went on to say people wanted to have more relaxed gameplay with balance between action and shooting compared to the more chaotic, smaller map Conquest. That's essentially why they made different game modes as well, to have a meat grinder compared to the slower pace of a Conquest game mode. This still isn't really addressing the issue and just tiptoeing around the actual problem. And then on to say to the community not to worry, as the data actually shows the longer people play the game, the more likely they're going to vote for other game modes other than Conquest, as well as the release of community servers in the future. All of this, I pretty much agree with him, but it's not really answering the main feedback point, which is number 1, why didn't you announce this publicly? And then not accepting the feedback of the people that want to play these game modes can't because it's a popularity vote and we can't play Infantry Conquest. Essentially, Velasquez is just saying, wait, you can't play these games now. You just have to wait, or, you know, just try and hope to find a Domination Infantry Conquest game, which is pretty much impossible. So that was yesterday. Some sort of clarity at least. I don't have the screenshot, but I know he also said that majority of players, when they entered or saw these maps, they would just quit out. And I agree that is a big problem. You don't want players quitting or leaving just because of a certain map comes up in the rotation. So if they were getting such a big amount of feedback, of negative feedback about these 3 maps, I understand why they had to pull them out of the Conquest game mode, because that's not what people are signing up for. They want the big battles and open range to go nuts in, where these 3 smaller maps are restricting that type of gameplay. So I understand completely why they don't belong in the big Conquest game mode, but back to the fact is that nothing was said about it, which is the disappointing part. Now, as of today, Velasquez gave us some more information. At next update, Salhan will be back in Conquest 254 with some slight layer adjustments. One, that's really good. We're getting a smaller map in rotation again in the big Conquest, so it gets to spice things up for the non-Conquest players if they're forced to play Conquest. I'm very interested in seeing what the slight layer adjustments actually are, because that could mean a wide range of different things. And then going on to say Construction and District was removed from the Conquest 254, but still available on Domination and Infantry Conquest, and the smaller Conquest sizes. This post that we got today, this should have been when it happened, and a lot of the community don't see why this wasn't announced when the maps were pulled. If you're now saying majority of players were not having a great experience on these 3 maps, so we've pulled them from this map rotation instead of us figuring it out from ourselves, I think there would have been less negative feedback towards this situation. But we finally have clarity and the reasoning why. So after hearing this information, my main thing to tell you guys now is, please try out Infantry Conquest and try out Domination once in a while. Think of the other guys which haven't had a chance to play or even experience these game modes yet. When I started playtesting, the only game mode that we were playing was Infantry Conquest, and I fucking loved it. That's what got me so hooked on this game, was just how good that game mode was. And it's a real shame people can't play it on a regular. Now, I know most of this has been pretty negative, and I still love BattleBit, and I still am putting so much time into it, thinking about it, playing it, interacting with the community, streaming it, so on. I'm still gonna be fucking love this game, man. But this is the first negative thing that I've actually seen and heard so much that I have to be a voice in the community and say, hold on guys, just wait a minute, this has to be addressed so it doesn't happen in the future. I know this video is a little bit over the place, I just wanted to really record it and get it out there as fast as possible. I hope you guys take something away from this. If it is the Swiftie lovers taking too much control over what music we're listening to, try some Infantry Conquest, because I think you might actually really like it. As well as, to end on a higher note, seeing that District is a fan favorite, they are actually expanding the map. I think Velasquez released a sneaky screen grab of the parts that he's working on, and this is where I'm on the fence. I can't be a negative Nancy about all of this, because I'm myself am a Conquest player, Infantry, whatever, man. I'll play whatever. Velasquez actually gave a secret snip of what he's been working on, and I think it looks sick. I think he's won me over with the willow looking trees, just hitting that RuneScape vibe a lot. So I'm very excited to see what the new look of District and expanded District will look like for the big Conquest. But base District is one of my favorite maps. So that's one of the maps I look forward to playing when I play BattleBit, because I know I can get really high kill gameplay in that, and it's really fun, really exciting and fast paced. As well as, I need to mention, if you want to play Namek as well, you have to play it on these game modes such as Domination. It won't be a part of the 254 player Conquest game mode. So if you're wondering why you haven't played a game on the new map yet, vote for Domination. This is a different type of video than what I normally do. I want this to be a conversation. I don't want this to be me spurting information at you, so please get active in the comments. I do read all of them. I don't want to be one-sided either. Oki and the devs have been really, I can't stress this part enough. Even though I am pointing out a negative, the devs are amazing. They have produced and made this amazing game. They have been really nice to me and acknowledged me as a small content creator from the beginning. I will support this game moving forward, and this is a tiny hiccup. I'm fucking rambling out of my asshole. Yeah, this is a minor thing on a start of a long journey for the game, and I'm pretty sure they've already really learnt from this as a whole and will tackle it differently in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay playing in the background as I drop 100 bomb. Thank you guys so much for your time and your patience. I hope this brings some sort of insight to you. And once again, I can't stress this enough, try other game modes for your homies that are driving the car. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you online over the weekend.